What's up, everyone? It's your girl Faye. I'm back again, kama kawaida, to mean as always. So today I'm here with an interview by the rockstar Frank Zappa. This is on Evangelicals, and I'm told that it might be a little controversial. So I'm really curious to listen to it, and I'm hoping that you are coming along with me all the way to the end, where I'll be giving my comments. So stay tuned, and without further ado, let's listen to this controversial
I'll try to see if you can see this. Mr. Zappa has published his own warning and guarantee to go on record albums. What is this about, Frank?
warning.
Well, could I read it, or would you read it, or?
All right, it says, this album contains material which a truly free society would neither fear nor suppress. In some socially retarded areas, religious fanatics and ultra-conservative political organizations violate your First Amendment rights by attempting to censor rock and roll albums. We feel this is unconstitutional and un-American. As an alternative to these government-supported programs designed to keep you docile and ignorant, Barking Pumpkin is pleased to provide stimulating digital audio entertainment for those of you who have outgrown the ordinary. The language and concepts contained herein are guaranteed not to cause eternal torment in the place where the guy with the horns and the pointed stick conducts his business. This guarantee is as real as the threats of the video fundamentalists who use attacks on rock music in their attempt to transform America into a nation of check-mailing nincompoops in the name of Jesus Christ. If there is a hell, its fires wait for them, not us. You sound angry, Frank.
Well, I am.
And
I resent encroachments on the First Amendment because I'm a constitutional fundamentalist.
And these encroachments are taking place how?
Well, they take place every day, but especially since the Reagan administration has taken power, I believe he must owe an awful lot to the group of video evangelists that he does business with.
Because they're talking about rock music and lyrics and what's on records and what kids are listening to.
It's not just that, because the influence of fundamentalist theory, let's call it, in American politics is, I think, beyond the limit of what the government should tolerate in terms of church meddling. After all, these people pay no taxes. They're getting a free ride. The IRS can't look at their books. And you've got a president that owes them a lot because they use their television stations to help get him in.
But they have a right of free speech, which
Of
you would
course,
defend.
I defend
and they
their
have a
right of
right
free
to
speech.
say, I think Frank Zappa's lyrics are bad.
Of course.
Okay.
But they do not have a right to pass legislation or influence legislation which influences my life or the lives of people who don't agree with their point of view just because they've got an in Washington, D.C. And they keep putting up the smoke screen about government meddling in religion, but really it's religion meddling in government because of the economic influence there.
Now, what is their goal, do you think? They want to ban albums?
No, their goal is to take over the United States the same way the Ayatollah took over Iran.
You believe that?
I believe it.
But in the music area, what is their goal?
Their goal, well, they're using the, right now you have a cotton candy news story about censorship of rock lyrics. They want to rate rock albums, not country and western albums, because country and western music is like God's music, so you don't touch that. But any rock and roll album that has lyrics that describe explicit sex, body function, violence, what they call Satanism, all this, they want to put labels on them.
Like movie ratings?
Like movie ratings, yes.
So that the parent would say, this has a B, don't buy this.
It would, well, it's not like a B. They have for drugs and alcohol, they have a D/A. All right, and we all know the country and western songs are full of drugs and alcohol and divorce and,
But it wouldn't affect country and western. Well, how do you know that? If it
because
wouldn't?
I debated a woman named Candy Stroud on the CBS Night Watch Sunday night debate, which will air next Sunday. And I asked her that question on the air. She said no.
It would not be on country and western, only rock.
That's right.
And who would determine the rating?
I don't know what the relationship is between Candy Stroud, Tipper Gore, and Baker. I don't know whether they're friends, they're organized together, but just in what she told me from her point of view, she wanted the record companies to voluntarily comply with this list of demands.
As the movie industry does. That's voluntary. That rating is no law. The movie industry puts a rating on movies. You don't have to submit a movie for it.
Correct. But see, here's the problem with the voluntary submission. In submitting to pressure from a Christian organization, they have a right to their religion, they have a right to their point of view, but they do not have a right to control the world. Okay? I don't think anybody's got the right to do that. Now, that's what's up their sleeve. By submitting to the voluntary rating thing, you validate their point of view because their point of view is sex is sin. References to sex is sinful. Children should not know how biology really works. Children should not know about certain sexual practices. Children should not hear this. Children should not hear that. Okay? I don't think that the record industry is correct because certain steps have already been taken by some people in the record industry to agree with part of their program. I read that in Variety today that Gordikoff, representing a number of labels, has said we will rate, put stickers on certain things and denied some of their other requests. But you shouldn't cave in at all. Never bend over for a Christian. You know, when somebody says, if you'll just do this for us, think of what the ramification is. That's the foot in the door. The snake oil salesman is going to come in there and tell you to move your furniture around.
Don't you think, for example, the movie ratings are a good idea? Would you want your 12-year-old to see blood, gore, and violence, and when you see an R and they don't let them in, isn't that pretty good thinking of an adult society for their children?
Well, think about it
without barring the picture from being shown.
Okay, think about it this way. We live in Los Angeles. There are many cable stations they can watch, and the variety of types of things that you can see, including sometimes 7 channels of religion in Los Angeles. It's a very good variety of stuff, and they watch it all. Of course, they have their favorites. I have 4 children, and they all have different things they like to watch. You know what I tell them not to watch? Don't watch a television show with a phone number at the bottom of the screen. Or if you see a man in a brown suit smiling too much, that's always dangerous.
You don't like religious people very much.
No, I do like religious people, but I say, if you think about what the Bible says, when Jesus got very angry when he found people doing business in the temple, and that's what you've got. Just because a man can afford his own television station and thinks that because if he calls his business a religion, he will not be taxed, the IRS can't look at his books, and he can exert all this political influence and then use the money to buy more television equipment, you know, he becomes his own little government. I don't like that.
Similar to the past interview, Frank, forgetting the legalistics.
Okay.
The First Amendment's pretty clear.
Yeah.
We can't suppress language. Why would you, for example, if I came out with a record that said, let's go out and kill cops, let's go out and rob banks, you might say that's in pretty poor taste, and that's purporting an illegal act, and while I have a right to say it, you can question my ethical values in promoting a rock record to kids, telling them to rob banks. Why would you have a rock record that says, let's sniff coke? Well, I mean, why ethically would you do that?
Well, let me explain to you one thing about the rock and roll business. See, I do not speak for the rock and roll industry.
I'm not asking you.
Okay, and I wouldn't, and they wouldn't want me to, because I don't agree with their practices. Basically, the rock and roll industry is a business that sells whatever product they can sell, and it's the law of supply and demand. If somebody wants to hear a record that says, let's go sniff cocaine, they're going to buy it, because they are sniffing cocaine.
How do you feel about that, though?
I don't like it. I'm not consuming it. You know, I think that it's not for me, but I wouldn't deny somebody else the right to hear it. I don't think of it as music.
An adult society has to do with regard to children?
Sure, they should protect the welfare of the children, and one of the things that you do for a child is prepare that child for the real world by giving it the type of information it needs in order to deal with the real world.
So that when they hear let's sniff coke, they don't go out and sniff
That's
it.
right.
Because they've been prepared right, not because the record told them to do it.
Right.
Wow.
I'll try to see if you could...
That was short. It's 8 minutes over. Oh my God. So I was really still into it, and I have to say, like, this is so... I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this Frank Zappa's opinion, or rather mindset on evangelicals. So for me, I feel like, first of all, in terms of religion, I'm a believer, but I always think like religion gets away with so much, especially like in terms of churches not paying taxes and stuff like that. So I feel like they should also considering they're in the government and they influence a lot of decisions in the government, they should also pay tax when it comes to that. Then the other part of regulating music, especially rock and roll, and the message in it, the lyrics, I feel like even if you regulate that, it doesn't mean that the child will not see that. I don't know. The child will in another way, like if they are to see it, they will, or rather to hear it, they will. Even if like, especially talking for myself, I'm a very curious person, and when I see something is banned or something is like when you tell me you are not supposed to do this, trust you me. I will try. So I feel like even for children, when you do that, these children will find a way of getting access to this. So the best way, I feel like the way he was saying that it's the parents' job to educate the children. So sit them down, tell them about this and this. If it's drugs, tell them drugs are used and they're used like this, like just explain to them. And actually children are very smart. I don't know whether it's children of today, but I don't have children, but my friends that have children, or rather my family that have younger children, I have to say they're really smart, and when you talk to them, they listen. So I feel like it's better to talk to them and tell them, this one, you're not supposed to do this, because if you do this, this and this will happen. Like, let's say, for instance, you are telling them about drugs. Let's say, for instance, cigarette, you tell them like cigarette is smoked, and when you smoke it, in the long run, your teeth will be affected, your lungs, and you might die early, stuff like that. So I feel like giving them the information as a parent, or rather as a caregiver, protect them rather than banning. Because when you ban, if and you have a child like me, not that I'm a child, like a child with a personality like mine, they will definitely want to access that in one way or another. They might even use adults, because I saw a video some time back. I saw a video where children were asking like adults to buy them. I can't remember which video it was, to buy alcohol for them. And this is a 12-year-old 14-year-old child asking a parent to another adult to buy them alcohol, and they were buying them. So the same thing will happen with music. You ban this, and they'll get access to it in one way or another. And I feel like information is power, or rather knowledge is power. So it's better to educate them than just ban, because even the movies rated 18 in some way. I feel like young, or rather young children still get access to it, like preteens and all, like they get access to these movies, or rather like they hear about the movies from children that have access to it in one way or another. And which is worse, them hearing it from others, or rather watching it on their own, or getting the information from you as a parent. Anyway, I'm not a parent, as I said, so maybe I might be talking from a different point of view, but that is just my thoughts. So please let me know in the comment section what you think of this. And I have to say it's controversial. So anyway, let me know what you think. And that is it for today. So that was a deep one. Like, I think I need a longer version to this. So anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. And until next time, take care of yourself and be safe. For now, your girl is out. Peace out, and bye.